What is up, guys? Hey, congratulations. You picked a great financial advisor. Just kidding. That's not the point of this video. But I wanted to kind of give you a couple tips because I've been taking calls from most of you and hearing from most of you the past couple days as it relates to GameStop appreciating in stock price over this past month. In the past few days, a lot more volatility. There's several things I want to communicate, but maybe the first one, the most important one probably is if you want to go back, and if you don't have these links, I can send them to you, but the quarterly investment update videos, you could honestly start from the very beginning. The first one I made was about Q4 of 2022, and then all 4 quarters last year, and then this most recent quarter, as well as a separate GME specific video that I made. Across those 7 YouTube videos, which not only did I make them for you guys, okay, but I have listened to them myself at least 3 times each, like 3 times per video. So I've spent, I don't know what, 25 hours watching myself, like listening to what I've already communicated, because I'm wanting to internalize how much have I communicated so far, how in the loop are you, wanting to do a good job of being proactive with investment strategy. And so if you haven't watched those, you're welcome to watch them. It'll help you get at least somewhat of a glimpse of like what is happening. But let me speak a little bit to what's happening and kind of where my mindset is at. But I also just want to throw out this disclaimer that like you're not going to become an expert in investment management after one hour phone call with me. You're not going to become an expert in GameStop as a company after one hour phone call with me. Like, this is thousands upon thousands of hours that I have invested, and this relationship is where you're entrusting me, in my abilities to, as a fiduciary, putting myself in your shoes, putting your interests first. How can I optimize risk reward within your portfolio based on your needs, your time horizon, etc. So that's what I'm doing to the best of my ability. And I'm not a hedge fund. None of your money's frozen. But so I don't want you to feel like you're entrusting it to me like you don't have access or anything like that. Like, you can fire me any day you want to, and you can usurp me any day. You can correct me and say, hey, I appreciate how you've managed things so far. This is some tweaks I'd love to manage things in the future. But I just want you to know, like, there's a lot in here that I can't just like give you in 20 minutes. And I would love to do that, just like we all will love to do that when Jesus is returning, coming on the clouds, and someone's like, oh my gosh, he's actually God, he's actually alive. Oh, frick, like, how do I become a close friend of God? Please tell me how, really quick. And it's like, I mean, we can do the sinner's prayer maybe, but like, you can't become a close friend in 20 minutes. And I don't think it's going to take him that long to get down from the clouds. You know what I mean? Like, the time, if you wanted to learn this, walk in this, the time to do that was any time before now. And so similarly with investments, if you want to learn this skill, and if you want to learn this company, the time to master those is not like in the middle of intense volatility, because in the middle of intense volatility you will feel so much emotional, just like elation and heartbreak and fear, and you don't have the experience and the knowledge that you need to like fully internalize that. Like, it really would probably go much better for you if you didn't check your accounts, you didn't think about your investments. Like, you open up my quarterly report, you watch my quarterly video, and the rest of the days, like, you live your life. You know what I mean? and you let me know if you need to pull some money out for an expense happening. You let me know if you're putting some more money in. By the way, guys, just one quick aside. If you do watch these quarterly update videos, I did say very clearly in April when I sent this video after Q1 that this is a very good time to be putting money in, okay? So do I lie to you guys? Do I lie to you? No, I don't lie to you. So I hope you've enjoyed your portfolio basically doubling in value over the past 2 weeks. You know, that's pretty awesome. Like, seriously, it's pretty great. So this is like it's a fairly like weighty video for me to make, because again, the heart is, man, I would love to tell you everything, you know, but like functionally, one thing I'm trying to communicate is you're not going to be able to fully grasp like to the extent that I do, you know. So what you need to fully grasp is yourself, and make sure I know that, you know, like anything that's important about your investor profile, you know, anything that you feel like I might not understand about you, that's what I need from you. And then my role is to internalize all those emotions, to internalize the risk reward, to allocate, to take profits, you know, and to make sure that I am being, you know, you're like putting you into me, and then I'm your investment arm. You know what I mean? Like, or I'm putting my skill into you, but it's really more like the former example, you know. And so if you can take everything that's you and get it into me, and then I can allocate, then we're gonna do great. And so that said, a couple encouragements for you guys. One, just some psychological encouragements. Seriously, please don't be checking your account every single half hour or even every day. If you can resist the temptation, it's not going to be helpful for you, probably. The easiest way to avoid volatility risk is just don't check, you know? Like, you don't have, like, the more that you check, the more stress you'll experience. Even if tomorrow it's worth 100 times, you know, you just 100x your whole portfolio, I'm telling you, you would rather just get a quarterly report from me that says, guess what, your portfolio just 100x. And you'd be like, oh my gosh, I need to give Jeremy a hug. And you should. But, of course you can check it. I'm not trying to hide anything from you. It's all there in a ledger, you know what I mean? But for your own sanity, for your and really for your own optimization, I would encourage you not to hyper activate now, you know. Another just kind of psychological tip: when in doubt, zoom out. You know, if GameStop tomorrow is worth $5,000 a share, and then the next day it's worth $4,000 a share, like, did you make money or did you lose money? Just zoom out, and you'll see that you made money. You will have made a lot of money. So, you know, it's hard for me. Like, I want to like teach you how to be. I want to like teach you everything I know, but I just can't. But I want to. And so let me just hit a couple other high points. Some things that I've mentioned to some people so far that some people have found helpful. One, this is not a short squeeze. Like, this is not the short squeeze. This is more like a gamma ramp. But even before that, it's really just a fundamental repricing. Like, this price movement is not meme stock. This is not a man posted on Twitter and now the stock market's doing stupid things. Please do not, please do not listen to CNBC or any financial news media. It is paid for by high up financial corporations that are trying to in some way profit off of their influence over your thoughts and behavior. So please, like, it is fake news. It's not true. A man cannot post a tweet and create billions of dollars in market cap. The only person that could do that is is maybe like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos or something, you know, not some random guy in his mom's basement. So this has nothing to do with, this isn't, yeah. Jeez. I again, even with this company, like I wish I could just get everything in me into you guys, but this price movement is fundamentally supported, and even more than this is fundamentally supported. It could double or triple from here and would still be fundamentally supported, and would not need to be something we would FOMO out of by any means. Like there actually is a very inexpensive company that was priced for bankruptcy, that was not going to go bankrupt, that now gets to be fundamentally repriced as a cash flowing and cash growing company. And so it intrinsically becomes worth much more, because it was trading at basically book value. So you get the benefit, right? Really, if I want y'all to do anything, I want you to play your favorite song and do a dance. Like, have some fun, enjoy it. Please enjoy it. It's fundamentally supported. There is a gamma ramp that has to do with an options chain. A lot of call options in the money. Basically, the entire float worth of shares, but in derivative form, that are all in the money currently, and whatever percentage of those options contracts exercise on a T+2 basis, those shares will have to be delivered. And so in that following trading week, that's a buying pressure, a forced buying event on the stock, which then creates even more call options in the money that next Friday. And a gamma ramp can go up for a very long time, for sure. And it's helpful. It's a technical momentum booster, for sure. And if most of this won't even make sense to you guys, but it doesn't super matter. The point is, in a short squeeze, if GameStop has a short squeeze, what's the upside? Like 100 times what it is right now. 100 times. So I really don't, for your sake, I don't want you to sell out of everything and freak out about every 5 or 10 or 20 or 40 or $50 price swing. Because if you think that a short squeeze is going to happen like this, then you'd probably be sad if you sold out, right? Probably. 100x. Volkswagen, 2008, became the most valuable company in the world. A multiple trillion-dollar valuation is the equivalent today. And GameStop is hundreds of percentages more shorted than Volkswagen was in 2008. That's a multiplier effect. Again, if you have watched my past videos, it's like you're showing up to the airplane, and in one scenario, you realize the airplane sold 1,000 tickets and there's only 100 seats. And so they have to pay you off. Like, they have to fly the plane because they did not bankrupt the plane. And so you gotta pay up, right? But in this scenario, like, what if 100,000 people showed up? Okay, it's just hard to even calculate, right? It's just, if 100,000 people showed up and only 100 fly on this plane, and the other 99,900 people, the airplane company has to pay whatever amount in order to convince them to rebook, aka to sell their share and to buy a different company. Like, that's going to be a way different scenario, right? The upside is incalculable. It's astronomical. So that's great. But as I've said in my previous videos, the short squeeze is not the only reason we're in the name. We like that it's fundamentally supported. We like that it is still the best hedge against a stock market crash scenario. And so, as a negative beta company, the more, yeah. So not only, so like, if you think, which none of you are telling me like cash out, get rid of it, but I'm just saying if we go down this rabbit trail, and you say, oh my gosh, the volatility, let me just sell it all. Not only do you miss out on potentially a 100x upside from where it is currently, but you also then reallocate that into some less volatile names. Like, let's just put this in the general market. I'm tired of the motion sickness. It's like, well, what if the general market then crashes? It's like, not only do you miss out on this extra growth, but you also turned this, that maybe it was just going to be flat, and now you moved it here that's cut in half. You know what I mean? And so it's a double risk to rush out, particularly when a lot of other people are rushing in, and you guys were already positioned. You were already set up. You were set up. So at this point, so anyways, a couple things going on here. It's not a short squeeze. It's fundamentally supported. There is a little bit of a gamma ramp. There is probably some funny business and market manipulation. The price is fake as it relates to the price of any ticker because of some collusive and corrupt activities that go on within the finance industry by high ups, particularly naked shorting and a lot of other related rules, laws, failure to enforce laws that just allow for basically for market makers to dictate what a stock price will be within some level of risk. But yeah, man, there's just so much to catch y'all up on, and I can't catch you up on it. Try not to focus on the stock price. Try to focus on the company. Try not to focus on one day at a time. Try to focus on the 5-year trajectory. Try to trust me. It's been good to you so far. And just know that if GameStop actually short squeezes, you will not even, you will be, you will know. And I will tell you. But if it short squeezes, it will be up thousands of percent, and almost everything else in the entire market will be severely down, probably in the same day, if not the same week, or the same week, if not the same day. And simultaneously, there will be just lots of hateful, negative gaslighting, painting out GameStop investors as just the evil people that ruin the world. And I just want you to know that's gaslighting. It's paid for, and the bad guys paid for it. And you are not bad, and no one that holds GameStop is bad. And we're also not going to hold it forever, okay? The other thing I just want to say is we are taking profits, faux show. I sold a big chunk on Monday, sold a big chunk on Tuesday. I let it sit today, and we'll see what happens in the coming days. But I'm not trying to rush out of it. I'm just trying to get it back to a percentage that you'll feel more comfortable with, because I know the volatility hurts you guys. But I don't want you to get attached to, honestly, I've already sold out enough in most all of your accounts that basically the entire position remaining, even though it's a huge weight in your portfolio, almost that entire position is house money. Like, it's almost all profit. Like, I've almost sold out of your entire capital investment in GameStop. That's how much of a return it's given you. And so you could just be like, hey, it's all free money. And if you're really, really just like, what if Jeremy's wrong? and maybe he just got lucky with this whole thing, but maybe it actually is still doomed and somehow it's going to go to zero. First of all, if you're going to be stressed about that, then be stressed about that for every single company, not just one. But the company you should be least stressed about that is GameStop, because it's all free money at this point. Even if it went to zero, we've already cashed out enough and will have cashed out enough, probably for sure by next week, to where your entire remaining investment is all free. None of it was yours to begin with. It's all just profit. That's not how it works on a tax basis. Taxes is a whole other thing, a whole other reason why not to rush out of something. But the opportunity cost is another huge reason. And so try not to think about the ride, but if you're going to think about the ride, enjoy the ride. There's a whole lot that you won't know about this company. It's not the best time to try to learn everything. But of course, I am still available in a general sense. But it's a little bit of a prisoner's dilemma for you guys, because I'm sure every single one of y'all is just itching to have a 3-hour conversation with me. But the more 3-hour conversations I have with 50 clients, the less time I can spend on your accounts, right? So the more that we focus on communicating through emotions, it's an important part of the job. I'm not trying to dismiss it. I'm just letting you know, the more I do that, like the potentially, the more it could cost you in terms of how much I can be on your accounts, you know. So, but you don't have to, one other thing I'll say that's been helpful for some people. My personal portfolio is more than 100% in GameStop. Still, I say more than 100% because I have a leveraged position in GME. So I have more than all of the cash to my name is invested in GameStop, plus debt that I took on to invest in GameStop. Still, I haven't even cleared the debt yet. So I'm not rushing out personally. Of course, that's not something that I did in any of your portfolios, because you don't have my risk tolerance and you don't have my knowledge base and experience to be able to sustain that level of precision within an investment strategy. The more you know, the less risky risk is, because the more you can mitigate against it through your knowledge, right? Anyways, so I am putting my money where my mouth is, and if I ever want to sell out, first of all, I will do it in your accounts way before I do it in my accounts. But I am already selling out of chunks of your accounts, because I know deep down, as much as y'all would love to be up another, take your whatever account value you have right now, if your whole account was 5 times higher 6 months from now, which is very plausible. I want you to know this is plausible. I'm not saying the short squeeze will happen. I just want you to know what has happened is not a short squeeze, so don't freak out about it. If a short squeeze happens, feel free to freak out about it, but also I will totally be just ringing the register all day long. I'm not gonna wait until it's 10,000 a share and we're not selling any at 2,000 a share. No, we're gonna sell chunks, big chunks, all along the way. We're not worried about getting the perfect right price. It's much more important to just be right. If you can be right and see the general direction, that's incredibly more valuable than timing exact entries and exits. There's a lot of risk associated with that from an opportunity cost perspective and from a tax perspective, and statistically much less advantageous. I mean, statistically, timing the market is just a suboptimal way to try to increase your overall ROI. Being selective in investments, that's a great way. That's a great way. All right. Maybe that's enough today for now. I want to talk more and more and more. I don't want to totally dissuade you from reaching out to me. I do like hearing from you guys. And all you guys have been super respectful. Sorry if I feel a little bit exacerbated on this video call here. But hopefully you can get a glimpse from my emotion that I'm man, if you only could like see it the way I see it, but there's this reality that like I can't fully disciple that lens in an hour, in 10 hours, in 20 hours, in 50 hours, one-on-one. I would not be able to get you fully to my own lens, you know? So realistically, I don't want you to try to get to that level. But if you want to get some more understanding, I think the best first thing I would recommend is watch the videos I've already made, watch them again, maybe watch them a third time, maybe write down what I'm saying. I know my communication is a little bit rambly, a little bit rabbit traily. So write down the things that stick out to you, the things that sound important, the things that maybe you'd have a question about. Write it down so then at least we have a base that we can take our conversation from there. But you don't have to do any of that. But if you want to educate yourself, that would be the easiest way to start. Please don't believe what you hear on the internet. It's not a place of truth, guys. It's a place of attention. It's all there for monetized attention. Anything you read, trust me, even this video, probably. I mean, you are paying me to manage your portfolio, so whatever. But I'm not claiming to be financial news. Sleep easy at night. Enjoy it. Try to tune out. Come back in a month. Unless you really feel like you're pretty well trained for this. And also, just one other thing I'll say is like this is a once in human history opportunity as far as the short squeeze goes. Right now, we're just right. We're just right about a fundamental repricing, and we're chilling. We're chilling. Like we're not stressed. We're not stressed. We're just chilling. If it gets up to 100 a share, I mean, not even 100, but like maybe 250 a share, 1,000 a share, multiple thousands of shares, multiple thousands of dollars per share. You know, that's when you're going to be like, oh my gosh. And I'm going to be selling and selling and selling. But you'll never even know that I am because as a percentage of your portfolio, it will still be high. So you'll feel that volatility. So if you're, yeah. So I just don't want you to like attach yourself to a number value of your portfolio and then be like, oh my gosh, this is the moment that I gotta, like, we gotta just lock this in right here, right here, right here, right here. Let's say for every $1,000 in your portfolio, let's say it turns into $10,000. Like, we don't want to just be like, oh my gosh, it's $10,000. And then if that 10,000 goes down to 8,000, and then you sell out, psychologically, emotionally, what the human heart will want to do is be like, I just lost $2,000. But that is not accurate. Mathematically, the numbers disagree with you. You made $7,000. But let me ask you this. If you cash out $8,000 and then you realize it would have been $20,000 if you didn't cash out, then, well, did you make 7? Or did you lose 2 from 10 to 8? Or did you lose 12 from 8 to 20? Right? It's too much to try to explain. Sorry, this is my most long-winded rabbit traily video I've made yet, because the task is too great for me to try to fully catch everyone up. But I am taking gains. I'm not trading your portfolio in a way that strikes me as high risk at all. At all. I'm not trying to. I am legally obligated to serve as your fiduciary, meaning I'm investing with your best interest in mind, not my own. If I was investing with my own best interest in mind, all of your portfolios would have been in 100% GME. Okay, if all I was thinking is how am I going to grow my client portfolio the fastest, that's 100% what I would have done. Maybe 5% in Tesla, But really, really the play, I mean, Tesla is an amazing value right now. I'm starting to feel a little bit of FOMO about it. But what's so great is if we actually do hit a short squeeze, then like, boom, this becomes so valuable in GameStop. Boom, everything else becomes so cheaply valued. Sell, 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 sell. Invest, 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 invest. And then like it's all this free profit that's getting amazing, amazing buying points. Some of these names, they'll just annualize at 10%, they'll annualize at 15%, 20%, 30%. But some of these names, like Tesla, for example, I'd be really surprised if long term it's not the most valuable company in the world. I'd be really surprised if it doesn't 5x in the next 5 to 7 years. And that's significant, you know, when a high, so like to do what we're doing in your portfolio now, but it's really like, it's not like FOMO out time. You also don't have to FOMO in time. Like we got this. We got this, y'all. Just eat some ice cream. Try not to watch the tickers. But what I'm saying is, let's say GameStop keeps riding out, and they have their annual shareholders meeting is the June 8th, I believe. Their Q1 earnings report will come out at the same time. Right now, fundamentally, this is an amazing year because they just completed full year profitability. And now we're in a journey to see, can they do it again? Can they grow it? It is very, very, very likely that they will, which is like the nail in the coffin for the last bit of bear thesis about the company. And then the only thing financial news media can do after that is just complain. No fair. GameStop shouldn't be allowed to be worth more. This is horrible. But their complaining is coming out of crooked teeth because financial corruption is the problem, and it's the cause for any type of violent price activity we might see. It is not me, you, and people that eat donuts for breakfast, like all of a sudden coming up with billions and billions of dollars to move a company in one direction or another. It is all the huge financial institutions at work behind it. And they know it's their fault. They bet they sold 100,000 tickets to people for an airplane that they intended to bankrupt, so that they would never fulfill all those ticket purchases and they would just keep the cash for themselves. It's evil, and they've done it again and again and again. It's super predatory for so many people. And so even from the ethical perspective, like, there just is nothing better you could do with your money to transform the world right now than to just own some shares of GameStop. Like, I'm really proud of you guys. You deserve the profit that's coming your way. You deserve the profit that's already come your way, for the sake of just trusting me and being willing to endure a little bit of that fear, a little bit of that volatility, for the sake of something that's so much greater, so much bigger than yourself. So my quarterly update videos, I try to keep them crisp. I try to keep them professional. I try not to give too much hopium. I try not to present too much of a bias, because obviously, like I said, I personally am, my money is where my mouth is. But even like in my video where I explain the corruption, like I tried not to sound very passionate about any of it, because if I do, it almost like erodes trust for you guys. It almost becomes like, oh man, I'm not sure if Jeremy's really seeing this level-headedly. He might just try to, die on this hill. And I don't know, should we die on this hill? Like, my position's down 30%. And now your position's up 300%. How times be changing, how the turntables, But all that to say, like when I was talking about in past videos about this, the opportunity, just trying to be level-headed. And I am still level-headed about it. But I want to help you be either level-headed about it or elated about it and carefree about it. But all that said, I am managing your money. If for some reason you don't want me to manage your money, that is totally your right. Also, if you think that I don't understand you very well, you want me to understand your investment priorities better, I've had some really fruitful calls about that. Some different ones of you are having different life changes, some different things happening. That is great to know. I had a client, I mentioned this to one of you guys on a call today, but I had a client who 8 weeks ago, decided that they didn't want to have any assets at all under Interactive Brokers. My first client so far to completely exit. And I said to the client, like, hey, that's totally great, it's totally your money. I don't want to press you one way or another. I just want you to know, for my own peace of mind, I want you to know that you might miss out on the greatest investment opportunity that we will ever see in our generation. It could totally multiply your portfolio multiple fold. I just want you to know that. If that doesn't matter to you, if this life priority is significant enough that no opportunity cost even matters, then that's how you sleep well at night, missing out on gains. And I don't know, I haven't reached out to that client on like, hey, do you realize that you missed out on this? Like, I'm not doing that. But I would hope that that client would actually feel a lot of peace, like knowing that they did what was best for them. And so if there's something about you that I don't know about you that will help me do better for you, even if it's financially suboptimal, I want to do that for you. I want to prioritize you. That's my job. It's my legal responsibility. But I just want you to know that I'm sleeping well at night, other than I'm really pumped up. I'm really excited. Because certainly these price moves are validating in some way to the overall thesis that I've been communicating over the past 2 years to you guys. But these are not the culmination of it. It's just like another chapter in the story. I'm thankful that y'all are along for the ride. And if you have any questions, totally reach out. But just know that you probably won't know everything that you wish you knew. Because it takes time, it takes practice, it takes some education. And if any of y'all are aspiring investment managers, we could do that education. It'll take many years, but we could do it. All right, that's all I got for y'all today. Hope y'all are doing well. I really am in a good mood. Sorry, I don't know. Let me know. Was this mean? Was this too mean? Was this too difficult to process emotionally? How are you feeling? Are you mad at me? Are you happy with me? It's not, most weeks I don't hear from many of you, so it's just been a little overstimulating for me, but not bad. It hasn't been bad. I'm trying to be like understanding that, like, of course, if your investment, whatever, portfolio doubles or triples, and then it goes from a triple to a double, like, I understand. And then if everything you're reading online is like, GameStop meme fizzles out, man tweets an image, I mean, it's just like, again, it's paid for, it's there to influence you, but the influence is, oh my gosh, what am I doing? I gotta get out of this. I gotta figure this out. I gotta let's just cancel. But just don't read that stuff. You're gonna be fine. All right. I think I've talked over my points like 3 times over. I probably have more points. Probably have another 30. So let's just end it. I'll talk to y'all soon. Thankful for you guys. Thankful to be y'all's advisor. Enjoy the gains. More to come. Seriously, I really do think there is very much more to come. But again, it is a little bit of a wild ride right now. But we're taking things off the table. We're cashing out, and the whole portfolio, all of that wildness is almost all already free money, house money. So there's basically no scenario possible or plausible that your account becomes worth less than what you put into it. So you're basically guaranteed gains. It's not actually guaranteed, right? Like the whole world could just get struck by the sun and burn up, I'm sorry, that's the end of it for us if that happens. But from an investment plausibility perspective, you're in a really amazing place. Not a fearful place. Not a fearful place at all. And not an evil place. That is gaslighting. You are in the most righteous and important financial place for the health and the future of our financial markets that you could possibly be in. So I want you to feel proud of yourself. I want you to feel like you can pat yourself on the back. I don't want you to go tell everyone you know how much money you made and how you just gotta be in on this. Like, just take deep breaths, grow quietly, but enjoy it along the way. All right, later, y'all.